This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sob like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Well, folks, last night the New York Knicks dropped a big game to the Atlanta Hawks. And, you know, that could be the one that really put the nail in the coffin. We'll see what the New York Knicks do tonight versus the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, listen, for the most part, the nail is in the coffin. But if the Knicks lose tonight, I mean, the dirt's on top of the coffin. The Knicks lose tonight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead. Let's break this one down. I got Steph in the building. Got Tony Crow here in the building. Steph, what's going on, man? You dropped your first video today on Dope Show.
Yeah. And I just kept hearing you in my ear, Sim. Soon as I announced the channel, we got in the back room. The show was over. Queen's Court was over. The first thing Sim said was, "So when you dropping that first video?" So I said, "All right, let me just roll with the momentum." I put one out this morning. I'll do one tomorrow. It's fun. It's fun. I learned a lot from you, Sim, trying to get my graphics tight, trying to line it up, spending a lot of time on PowerPoint, couldn't get this line right. Over time, it'll get better over time.
It looks good. You guys need to go check it out. I'm gonna put the link in the chat so that you can go there and check it out. Tony, what's popping, man?
What's good, Sim? Peace Queen, congratulations. I'm looking forward to checking that out. I've been under the weather, but I'll definitely check that out. And shout out to the chat and Yo Black, it's time. Let's go.
Yeah, and you know what, Steph? Over the past month, you put out more videos than Isaiah, who's had his channel for about a year and a half. You know what I mean? So, hey, you're already ahead of the game. Already ahead of the game. Look, you walking away. I don't know where he's going. Already ahead of the game, man. But I don't know if Isaiah's hooked in. We'll let him go ahead and get hooked in, and then we'll get him up there on the channel. So, Steph, what's your thoughts on tonight's game?
Like you said, Sam, to me, the season is over. But I don't think, I was just reading something. Tibbs is still saying we need every one of these. So they still playing to win. I would like to see, a little more minutes for our younger guys at this point in the season. I don't think it's going to happen tonight. They still in winning mode until they're mathematically eliminated. Charlotte is coming in on a 5-game winning streak. We don't match up well against them. We're without Randall. I think it's going to be a tough game for us, and we're on the road.
Right. And the thing is this. I mean, there has to be a cutoff point for Tom Thibodeau. I mean, I know mathematically you can still be in it and this and that, but you got to think realistically. How realistic is it that Atlanta or Charlotte is going to go on a massive losing streak?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? First of all, with Charlotte, if you lose tonight, you lose the season series to the Hornets. Right. At least with Atlanta, if for some reason the Hawks went on a major slide and the Knicks won 10 in a row, they would win the tiebreaker, right? Because that's basically what you would need to happen. You would need the Hawks to go 5-5 over the last 10, or actually 5-7 over the last 10, and then, or not 5-7, 4-6 over the last 10, right? And you would lead to the Knicks to go 10-0, right? So if for some reason that happened, the Knicks would have the tiebreaker with the Hawks. If they don't win tonight, they don't even have a chance versus the Charlotte Hornets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, all of those odds are just super duper slim for the Knicks. And, there has to be a point. I mean, I know he's going to say, listen, we're playing the young guys already. But there has to be a point where you flip around the distribution of minutes, I guess.
Right.
Is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because those guys are playing, but, certain players just aren't playing as many minutes as you would like to see them. There has to be a point where you decide, let's flip it around. Did it, just how we distribute these minutes. Tony, what's your thoughts on tonight's game? You're muted, Tone. You're muted.
Just like you, Sim, I never liked this matchup against this team. Especially, as funny as it's gonna sound, but without Randall, I think it's gonna be even harder defensively, at the very least, to match up with these guys. But it's gonna be a nice test, another test for Obi, another test trying to contain not Lazo, LaMelo. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just hope it's not an ugly one at this point.
Right.
Right.
And it's not just Lonzo you got to contain. Obi's got to contain. If it's going to be Obi, I don't know who's going to guard him. It could be Obi. It could be RJ Barrett. But they got to contain Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges has been getting off the entire season, and he's been doing it against the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the Knicks got to deal with that guy. Isaiah, what's popping, man? Talk to me. Your thoughts on tonight's game.
First and foremost, what's going on, Sim? What's going on, Tony? Black is time. Steph, look, she might have had more videos, but sometimes you gotta let big sis be big sis. She gotta, I'm the young gunner, man.
She has one video, and she still has done more than you have in the last 3 months. So
hey, man, listen, my season's the off season. I'm gonna just say it like that.
Okay.
My season's the off season.
Okay. Wow.
Hey, Steph, you're not lying about that. It's coming big quick. By next week, Steph gonna be like, "What cooking with Steph?" I'm like, "Oh." No, man. Look, I think tonight's gonna be an ugly game, man. Like Steph said before, we really don't match well with Charlotte. We really don't. It's just like we don't have the matchups, and they're just quick, man. They're just quick. And then just again, RJ played 40 minutes last night. A lot of these guys played a lot of minutes last night. Todd's probably sore. I know that ankle hurt.
I mean, Todd's played 19 minutes.
He
played 19
a little older, but no, some of these guys, some of these guys, man. We played I don't want to say last night was an emotional game, but it was a hard game. It was a hard game, and it just those last 3 minutes, man, took a lot. I think that killed a lot. I'm not gonna say it killed the spirits, but it's tough, man. Like you said, you basically have to go undefeated and hope that the Hawks or somebody has to lose pretty much every game.
Well, I mean, it's not. Listen, the Hawks can go 4-6 over the last 10. I believe that can happen, right? They've been a 500 team all season long.
No, it's definitely possible.
Been a game or 2 games below 500 all season long, so it's definitely possible for them to go 4-6. Is it possible for the Knicks to go 10-0? That's the question.
That's the $1 million question,
right? But, no, I don't think it's possible for them to go 10-0.
I mean, yeah, I think the season is over. But again, I do appreciate that RJ and Thibs and them. They're not gonna fight until they're until they're out of it. So, but I will say, like I said tonight, I think it's gonna be tough just because RJ's tired and some of these guys got to step up, man. I think this will be a big game for Quickly. This will be a really big game for Obi, man, because we need some scoring tonight because it can't just be all on RJ, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't all on RJ last night. Alec Burks gave you 21. Emmanuel Quickly gave you 17. There were several players in double digits. The Knicks scored 111 points. They just couldn't get stops.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last 3 minutes, man, that last 3 minutes just, I don't know what that was, man. That was just bad.
Yeah, it was rough those last 3 minutes. The Knicks couldn't get stops. Atlanta kept, Bogdanovich and Trey Young just kept hitting shot after shot.
You know what pissed me off the most, Sam? What pissed me off the most was that the Hawks have been a bad team. Pretty much, they have been almost as bad as us this season, almost. I mean, of course they're better because of the playing and they've been won a couple more games. But Lord have mercy, these dudes wanted to show up. Bogdan wanted to show up.
The second year in a row, the Hawks eliminate the Knicks from the playoffs. Like officially, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, officially, the second year in a row. But tonight, the Knicks take on the Charlotte Hornets. Of course, when you take a look at the injury report, ladies and gentlemen, Julius Randle's out with a sore quad. Cam Reddish, Nerlens Noel, Derrick Rose, all those guys are out for tonight. Of course, Kemba Walker is no longer with the team. All right, for the Charlotte Hornets, Gordon Hayward, he's out with a left ankle sprain. Kai Jones, he's in the G League. Everybody else is just in the G League. And also James Bouknight, he's in the G League.
A lottery pick.
Was
he? Yeah, I think so.
The 11th pick.
11th pick. He's in the G League.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say anything else about that. I'm just going to leave it there. For everybody crying about this guy and that guy playing or not playing, James Bouknight, a guy that a lot of people wanted on the New York Knicks, is in the G League right now.
I did.
Not even playing. And you're going to say, well, the Charlotte Hornets have a better record than the New York Knicks. They're 35-35 or 36-36 or whatever their record is. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they got a better record than the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? But that's all. I'm going to just leave it there because everyone always says, you know, all these guys, all these young guys, all these rookies are playing and this and that. This guy was drafted way higher than Deuce. Getting no burn in the G League. But anyway, that is the injury report, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at the starting lineups for the Knicks. Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson. For the Hornets, LaMelo Ball, Terry Rozier, Miles Bridges, P.J. Washington, and Mason Plumlee. All right, there's a couple guys on this list, ladies and gentlemen, that we really, really got to watch out for. But the matchups, I don't know if the matchups are going to go exactly like this. And I'm not really sure where to go with the matchups for real. You know what I'm saying? Because normally you would have Julius Randle guarding Miles Bridges. This guy's averaging 31 points per game against the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not comfortable with having Obi guarding him. I think I'd rather have R.J. Barrett. I know the first game that the Knicks played against the Charlotte Hornets, Evan Fournier was guarding LaMelo Ball. I don't know, Steph. I mean, this right here is just, projected or my thoughts of what could happen tonight. But I have Evan Fournier guarding LaMelo Ball, Alec Burks on Terry Rozier, R.J. Barrett on Miles Bridges, Obi Toppin on P.J. Washington, and Mitchell Robinson on Mason Plumlee. Any thoughts on the lineups and the defensive matchups?
That's the way I would do it, Sam. I was looking at the old screen and I was like, oh, I would switch that around. And sure enough, you switched it. Listen, I think Evan Fournier and LaMelo Ball, I don't think that's going to be an easy matchup, but I think that's better for him than Bulldog Terry Rozier, who may not be as tall as him, but is really strong. R.J. Barrett and Miles Bridges, I think that's a good matchup. Like Isaiah said, R.J. played 40 minutes last night. We're going to need him to score tonight, and he has to guard Miles Bridges. He's going to have his work cut out for him tonight. Obi should do okay with P.J. Washington and Mitchell Robinson. I don't know. I don't know. Some games he's great, and other games 9.6 rebounds. I don't know. We'll see. Plumlee is a very good rebounder, so let's see.
Right, he's a rebounder, rim runner. He can do some things out there. Tony, what's your thoughts about the matchups tonight?
Come on, Queenie. Why you gotta go at Mitch like that? Mason Plumlee? Man, Mitch better kill him tonight. Mitch better kill him tonight. That's all I'm gonna say about that matchup. I like the way you have it this way. I would go the same way. I do not want Fournier anywhere near Terry Rozier. I think that's a problem. So yeah, I agree. And great test for RJ. This is what the majority of people want to see, and this is what it would look like if if there's no Randall and RJ's the guy, the focal point, and he's going to be tested on both ends tonight. So interesting to see, if he could show improve, and looking forward to it. I like that matchup more than anything. So I'll be keeping a close eye on that tonight.
Yeah. You mean RJ and Miles Bridges?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how Tom Thibodeau goes with the matchups. If he does go ahead and just put RJ on Miles Bridges and Evan Fournier on LaMelo Ball, is definitely going to be interesting. Big Bubba, your thoughts on any of the matchups here that we see on the screen?
Yeah, I think I'm totally fine with Evan Fournier not playing that many minutes tonight. Just his defense is just. I mean, last night he didn't play the whole fourth. Let him get the record, and then still play him the rest of the season. I think he needs 4 or something like that, 2 or whatever. I don't know how many he needs to break the record. But defense is hard.
Trust me, it wasn't just Evan Fournier last night on defense.
Oh no! I know it wasn't
not just Evan Fournier. There was a whole lot of guys, including Obi Toppin, who made a lot of defensive mistakes. So it wasn't just Evan Fournier, man.
If I had a shot for every time Obi jumped last night on a pump fake, I'd have been drunk. But yeah, I think listen, it can't just be RJ, man. I mean, again, it does. I'm not gonna lie, Sam. It pisses me off that what's his name? Cam Reddish isn't playing, man. I really this would have been a great time for Cam Reddish to play that 3 or maybe small ball 4. I would have loved to see Cam play the 4. That to me would have been
it's crazy because he might have been starting at the 4 instead of Obi.
Right.
Hey, Sim, I'll be honest with you. People would have been. I mean, some people would have been mad, but I would have been totally fine with it. And I don't like to do this because I really like Obi, but it was starting to look like Cam was looking. Cam looks better.
Yeah, but I mean, look, Cam ain't here. Let's stick with with the players we got.
Look, you're right. That's a whole nother episode on Cooking with Chef Say. No, so I think RJ's gonna have some trouble tonight. He like I said, played 41 minutes tonight, and he has to chase. Either he has to chase Miles Bridges or LaMelo Ball or one of these guys or Kelly Oubre. It's gonna be a little tough, man. It's gonna be tough, but yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think going this way because LaMelo Ball, although he averages 19 points a game, you know what I mean, but he's a passer. He's gonna pass the ball around. I think you're probably best with having Evan Fournier guard LaMelo Ball. Alec Burks, Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier is going to get his. He's averaging 20 points per game versus the Knicks. Wow. He's going to get his. Alec Burks, I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to go look and see exactly what he's averaging against Charlotte. I don't think it's 20 a game, though. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, Terry Rozier's averaging 20. Miles Bridges, 31. Gordon Hayward's not playing, but he's averaging 19 against the Knicks. LaMelo Ball, he's only played 1 game against the Knicks this season, but he had 12 points and 17 rebounds in the first game that he played against the Knicks, and he also had 9 assists. It'll be interesting to see what he does tonight for the Knicks. The leading scorer against this team for the Knicks was Kemba Walker. He had, in his first game against Charlotte, he had 26 points. Randall only 14. Alec Burks only 10. Emmanuel Quickly 10. Mitchell Robinson 10. And R.J. Barrett 10 against this team. The Knicks have just not matched up well against the Charlotte Hornets. Looking at those numbers, Kemba Walker and Julius Randle, they're not playing. It makes you say, damn, well, who's going to score?
Right.
It has the potential to be a bad game. Really, really bad game if somebody does not step up and score the basketball. Man. And I mean, Obi Toppin's averaging 9 points against this team. Evan Fournier against the Hornets. He's played 2 games against the Hornets. He's averaging 5.5 points per game against the Hornets. So, listen, I can't see that happening tonight where, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, and Alec Burks average 25, 27 points total against this team.
No.
Right? That would be crazy if that happened. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to RJ. RJ's a different player right now than he was the first 2 times that he played against the Hornets. So I don't expect that to happen. I think he's gonna be in his game. I think Evan Fournier is a different player too than the first 2 times. Like the first 2 times that the Knicks played the Hornets, it was one game was really early in the season and nobody really knew what the Knicks were. And then another game was just during a stretch where it was just terrible for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? They were winning some games, but, everybody was really down on the team because of the way that they were playing, et cetera, et cetera. And I think RJ Barrett and Evan Fournier are 2 different players right now. So I think both of those guys are going to score the basketball tonight.
Sim, I agree with you. That's why I think this is such a big test for RJ. Because not only is he a different player, he's still within his best stretch of basketball, but at this point, he's going to be the focal point of the defense. You know what I mean? Which is new to him as well. Well, at least in the league. You know what I mean? Like with Randall out, he's the name on that bulletin board for sure. You know what I mean? Like he's the guy that they're going to be trying to stop and game planning against. So. This is going to be probably the biggest test he's had of his young career with this particular game, and then it's the fact that he hasn't really played well against them traditionally. So yeah, I think this is a game we should really keep a close eye out on.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I gotta head out.
All right.
On daddy duty. I'll
Appreciate
see y'all
you,
tonight, Queen's Court. Shout out to the chat. I'm sorry, crossover. Shout out to the chat. Real Black is time. Peace
All
in.
All right, appreciate you.
He already stressing already.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, with RJ Barrett, the last time Julius Randle was out, I think RJ Barrett maybe only played 1 game during that time. I don't think he played both games when Julius Randle was out. I think he maybe only played 1. Depending on how long Julius Randle was out, this definitely is a good time for RJ Barrett to, step up and take control of the basketball team. I would like to see him do it with better efficiency, though. And he'll need to do that tonight with better efficiency. Like last night, he dropped 30, but he shot 36% from the field and 14% from 3. And I think he was 60-something% from the free throw line. The Knicks, as a whole, were 53.8% from the free throw line. They missed 12 free throws last night.
Yep.
And you could point to that stat right there to say the reason why they lost the basketball game, missing all those free throws. But I think that, RJ Barrett, he has a golden opportunity right now, to stake his claim. I don't know how long Julius Randle's going to be out. But, it's his team right now. He's the guy. Now, there's things that come along with that. Everyone's going to be queuing in on RJ Barrett. You seen in the first half last night, he was hot. In the second half, he was like 1 for 12 or 2 for 12 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because now the attention goes to RJ Barrett. So this is definitely a good learning experience for him. And we'll see how it works out. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Steph.
I mean, I will add also, I'm not getting too down on RJ. Like, I've said too that he wasn't efficient in the second half and the stats that you said, what have you, and that he's not there yet. But for me, that's okay. Like, I don't see that as a big deal. I know somebody in the chat, I forgot the name, was saying that he's too inconsistent to give him a max contract. He's in his 3rd year. I saw Paul George struggle to close in those moments. Embiid is just now coming to his own in those moments. It takes time. It's not a light switch. It's a process. And I think I think he'll get there. He's just not there yet.
Yeah. And, he the first thing for him in this process was changing his mindset, right?
Right.
That was the first. That was the first part.
Right.
It's changing his mindset. So now that it seems like he's, his mindset is a little bit more towards being aggressive and getting the shot attempts up. I remember, I don't know, a few streams ago, we had a conversation about if R.J. Barrett could become a volume shooter.
I remember that.
Right. And, we were all kind of like, we're not sure if it's in his mindset. We're not sure if, he's more of a complimentary. He seems like a complimentary guy with a complimentary mindset. But now it's different. He's changed significantly. But now he's got to learn how to, when he's taking these number of shots, how to be efficient taking these number of shots.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so then that's the next step in the evolution of his basketball game, being efficient while he's out there on the floor.
Right.
Right.
And do you know any superstars, Sim, that's inefficient?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well then,
I think there's a lot of them that's inefficient. I mean, right now he's shooting 41%. I mean, I think there's a few of them out there that are inefficient. I'd have to look at really go and look at them, but I think there's a couple out there that shoot, lower than 46% from the field.
Oh yeah, 46. Yeah.
I will say this too, and this has to me been the greatest thing about RJ Barrett is that each year we've asked him to step up. Each year he has. People, and Sim, you talk about this all the time, right? People, we live in such a popcorn era where we don't give these kids time to grow. Where everybody sees Ja, everybody sees Luka, and they just expect every superstar to just automatically come in here, have Hall of Fame numbers, drop 26, 6 and 7. What again? And what Luka's doing isn't easy. And to be honest with you, I think Luka's one of those guys that are not the most efficient players. Even Luka still struggles for three. Ja Morant can't shoot threes. Ja Morant at one point was literally shooting, I think, 12% from three this season. And this is this season.
Right.
Yeah.
He was shooting terrible from three. There was a point, I remember before the MVP thing,
Allen Iverson,
listen, Allen Iverson, I think it was almost a career 40% shooter. But again, right, people just get so much hyped about, this RJ, oh man, RJ's not this, RJ. Look, people got to appreciate what he is versus what he isn't and what he's going to be. Again, each year he's gotten better. Again, we all saw the report of when he texts his trainers, it's time for me to take over. It's time. He was respectful of Randall, but he understood that, what the team needs is me to be a better person. He can't just be a spot up shooter or a 3-and-D kind of guy when he can be a 3-and-D, to me, superstar. So again, right, it's just, we got to be patient. That we always do this. I don't understand. I feel like we're the only franchise around the league, and again, probably just other people that not hate, but criticize their players. But man, we got a young kid that's 21, two-way player, giving you 20 points a game. And since the beginning of the year, giving you 26 points a game, and we complaining.
Yeah, well,
I'm not complaining, but we still got to point out both sides.
No, yeah. And of course, look,
that's all. Point out both sides.
No, of course, and the efficiency going to get is efficiency bad right now? Of course it is, but I don't know. I have a good feeling. The Sim said it before. I'm not worried about that because that's going to get better. And when
it should get better. We hope that it gets better. And that's the thing. And that's the thing that you got to watch. Does it get better? You know what I'm saying? Because if it doesn't get better, and I'm not talking about next season. Let's say the season afterwards, if that efficiency doesn't get better, then you have an issue. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to watch and see. We just got to watch and see. The key matchup for tonight. There's actually two of them that there could be. But right now, I'm looking at RJ Barrett and Miles Bridges. I think that's going to be the key matchup. You know what I mean? Because Miles Bridges has been killing the Knicks all season long. He's played 2 games against the Knicks. He's averaging 31 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4.5 assists. He's shooting 59.5% from the field and 42.1% from the three-point line, to go along with 77% from the free throw line. All right. Those are great numbers. And, normally it's Julius Randle guarding them. Julius Randle has matched up well with him. We'll see how well R.J. Barrett matches up with him. R.J., in 2 games versus the Charlotte Hornets, has averaged 10 points, 8 rebounds, 2.5 assists, shooting 29.6% from the field, 25% from 3, and 50% from the free throw line. Knicks are definitely going to need RJ to put up some better numbers than that tonight. They don't, the Knicks won't have any chance of winning if he doesn't, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Thrive Fantasy matchup of the night. Go to the link in the description of this video. Put in the code NBK, and you'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100. Any thoughts? Any thoughts just about the dynamic of these two going up against each other? Isaiah, I'll start with you.
Of R.J. Barrett and Miles Bridges?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so it's going to be interesting because strength-wise, I think Miles Bridges can match up with R.J.
Mm-hmm.
Strength-wise. Mm-hmm. Speed-wise, Miles might be quicker. Of course, athleticism, he got him. But it's going to be an interesting matchup. You know, like I said, Miles is very strong, but RJ can hold his own. It's just, to me, but I'm just a little worried about how he spent all his energy last night. You know, I hope he didn't spend all his energy last night.
I mean,
again, I know he's
that's
young.
That's the NBA, bro. It's the NBA.
Yeah, no, I get it, and he's professional. I know, but still, he's human. He gets tired. Mm-hmm. But
he's only 21. You say that all the time.
Hey, Steph, hold on, Steph. I know we do this, but hey, listen, you get tired. You do get tired. No matter if you're 21 or you 57, you get tired.
I mean, no, but listen. RJ should be fine tonight. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
it's mental.
Yeah, he'll be fine. I think he'll be okay. If you talk about Taj, and he was playing 30 minutes tonight, then, you know, you might be talking about something. But I think RJ should be perfectly fine tonight. You know what I mean? He's a young guy. He's healthy.
I got you.
I think he should be fine.
Oh, yeah, he'll be good.
You know, listen, Miles Bridges is a tough guy to cover. He shoots well from the three-point line, shoots well from the field. I mean, he can get a shot. He can catch it on a oop. He does a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's really worked out well for the Charlotte Hornets. And RJ is going to be, you know, he's got to deal with a strong dude down there. You know what I'm saying? One of the strongest guys in the league, maybe. He's got to deal with him.
I mean, Sim, at one point, I do know at one point people were like, man, he's having a Randall season. You know, Miles Bridges, he's having a Randall. I don't know how he is now. The season.
Yeah. I think he slowed down a bit, but yeah.
He's still averaging 20 points a game. He's averaging 20 and I'm not exactly what this show what the rest of his numbers are, but he's having a pretty good season. You know what I'm saying? And he might have slowed down some because, you know, earlier in the season, LaMelo Ball was hurt. You know, so maybe he picked up the slack a little bit. But, I mean, right now, for the season, Miles Bridges, he's still their leading scorer. He's averaging 20 points a game for the season, shooting 48% from the field, 32.4% from three. He's averaging 7 rebounds and 3.8 assists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a tough game for the Knicks tonight. You are watching the Game Day pregame show. Please make sure you go to thegameday.com. You get all of your up-to-date sports content and betting odds. Okay? And betting odds, ladies and gentlemen. So check out thegameday.com. Team comparison, the last, actually, that's not it. I'll get back to that in just a second as soon as I get it up there on the screen. I thought I had it up there already. You know, thought I had it up there. Obi Toppin, I want to talk about Obi. Steph, what do you expect from Obi tonight? Or what do you want to see from Obi? You know, last night it was okay. You know, he got a couple of alley-oops or whatever, but I want to see more. I
just don't think he's that guy right now. I mean, you can't give the ball to him and expect him to get a basket. You know, he has to play off of people, so he has to run the floor, get alley-oops, get them in transition. I did see like 1 or 2 times this season where he got the ball like mid-post extended and put it on the floor a few times, pulled up in the key. I don't think he's comfortable doing that. His 3-point shot, like you said earlier, was much better last year. He's regressing. So I'm not sure how much more we're going to see from Obi just because of his skill set. I don't think he's the guy that, with more time, you're going to see more. I just think this is who he is right now.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to see, even if this is who he is, I don't know. It's just a little bit more that I want to see that I think he has. Like, I've seen him post up.
I have, yep.
Right? And he doesn't have, super great moves, but I've seen him do enough to be able to score. I've seen him go off the dribble. I've seen him, fake a handoff and go baseline. Like, I've seen him do some of these things. I just want to see more of it. And I don't know if it's a confidence issue or what, but I just want to see more. I want to see something that lets us know that he can be a starting power forward.
He's going to have to do what RJ did. Remember, RJ, it was a mental thing.
Yeah.
And he just got to the point where he just said, not necessarily I'm going to play outside of the offense, but I'm going to be aggressive. I don't think Obi is there yet. I think that has to be his mindset too. Listen, Randall is out. I know I'm not Randall, but this is my opportunity to be aggressive.
Right. This is the opportunity to do it. And I think that's a big reason why he gets pulled out the game in the fourth quarter. It's just being tentative, not being aggressive, not really just making his presence felt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, like, make your presence felt.
Right.
And I don't always get that from him. Go ahead, Isaiah.
How can I say this? Because I don't think it's the. Is he too nice?
Somebody said he'd be bringing the cookies to the
yeah, I mean,
to the locker room.
It's nice,
No, because like even last night, right? Even last night, when he during the post game.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he talked about. I watched the post game, by the way. Watched the whole thing. Great job. Proud of you.
Appreciate it. I'm learning. I'm learning a little something.
We gonna get you. We gonna get you there. We gonna get you there. No, but I was listening to the post game and I was watching the show last night, and he talked about the block. And Sim, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It bothered me. It did, because he was like, oh, that's a nice block. He said he talked to him during halftime and said, yo, don't do that again. I'm like, dude, what do you like? I get it. You're not always everybody's not that kind of guy. Everybody's not a Pat Beverly. I understand that. But I just feel like it's just, and I know Obi smiles, he brings the good positive energy, but dude, sometimes we gotta be like, yo, we suck. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Sim. Draymond Green last night, and again, I know everybody's not Draymond Green, but he like straight up said, yo, no disrespect to the Magic, but we got our ass kicked. We sucked. We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be losing to that team. Like, I'm not saying Obi has to fully be that, but you just can't always be smiling, man. You just can't.
I think what's gonna need to happen is somebody in the league, you know what I mean, is going to rough him up, embarrass him. I'm not saying beat him up, but like start to look and say, this kid is soft, so now they're pushing him around. You know what I'm saying? And then that will change his mentality, like, yo, these people think I'm soft. I can't be soft. Because even during the press conference, if you see him and RJ, he's like, nah, you take it. And then he's like, nah, you take it. Like Obi didn't want to speak. And normally when he's up there by himself, he does. But because he was there with RJ, he wanted to let RJ take all the question. And that kind of represents his personality on the team, on the floor. When he's out there with that starting group or whoever, it's kind of like, I'm going to let you take the responsibility and help me get mine. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being, taking control a little bit. And I think that's part of the mentality he's got to grow into. Because
to me, right, Sam, I know, look, right, and people don't understand, Obi doesn't know how this trickles and it affects RJ, right? Because, bro, you're a top 10 pick. No disrespect, but the top 10 picks, you're supposed to be able to, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be one of those guys. that I was a top 10. I'm believed to be somebody that you can build a franchise with.
Yeah.
And you can't, and I know we look at RJ, but RJ can't be the only one being assertive. It can't just be RJ and quickly. Like, no, come on, Obi, you gotta look. This is the difference from you becoming. I'm not even talking about being a star. You want to be a starter to just being a backup power forward energy kind of guy your whole career, versus you actually getting to be a starter and making starter money. Come on.
Yeah. Keith Turner said that's why Randall didn't pick Obi up. It all makes sense now.
Hey, maybe Randall had to get on. You let him know, man, because look, and again, you need a perfect blend, right? In the locker room, you need a little bit of everything. Yeah. You need the a-hole guy. You need the Theo Pinson. You need the guys like Taj, and you need a quiet dude like D Rose. You need all that.
Yeah, you need it all. You got to make, and the coaches got to make it work. But looking at the numbers behind the game, ladies and gentlemen, for this season, 2 games, the Charlotte Hornets are up 2-0, and they've outscored the Knicks. They're basically winning each game by double digits. They're averaging 100.5 points per game. The Knicks are averaging 91.5. This is against each other now, right? The Knicks, 52 rebounds. Charlotte, 44 rebounds. 19.5 assists for the Knicks. 24 for the Charlotte Hornets. 7.5 steals for the Knicks. 8 for the Hornets. 4.5 blocks for the Knicks. 3.5 for the Hornets. The Knicks are averaging 17 turnovers versus the Charlotte Hornets. 17. Only 10.5 for the Hornets. The Knicks shooting 39.3% from the field. 34.5% from 3. And 56% from the free throw line, while the Hornets are shooting 42.6% from the field, 32% from 3, and 65.9% from the free throw line. And ladies and gentlemen, when I look at these numbers, the turnovers stand out to me, because this is a team that can run. And if you turn the ball over, they're going to get out on a break and score. They're going to capitalize on it. You know what I mean? That number really, really does stand out to me. Steph, you want to talk a little bit about those turnovers, and if there's anything else with these numbers that stand out to you? You're muted, Steph.
That's more than the Knicks usually. Like, the Knicks don't average 17 points in a game. Maybe it'll go down with Randall being out, but that's a problem. The Knicks have to take care of the ball. You don't want to give a team like this extra opportunities to score. And 91 points, you're just not winning. You're not winning a game on 91 points. I mean, we don't have Randall. We're a little shorthanded. We got to have players that's going to show up tonight. That's not going to cut it. And we out-rebounded them. But again, we're without Randall. He's a big part of our rebounding. So we got our work cut out for us. Only 19.5 assists, so the ball wasn't moving, or we weren't hitting shots. What was our field goal?
Right.
39.3%, yeah.
Right. Man. Because even last night, a team that we had normally out-rebounded throughout the season, we were averaging 48. They were averaging 43. Last night, they got their 43. We only had 41.
Yes. And this is my issue, Sim, with Mitch. I love his offensive rebounds, but he has 6 rebounds, 5 of them were offensive.
Yeah.
1 defensive rebound. Like, I just need more defensive rebounds from him.
Right. Isaiah, any thoughts about these numbers here?
Yeah, the numbers. What were the numbers again?
He was about to make something up. Yeah, the numbers.
I swear to God, I was. I really was. I was gonna make it up.
Gonna make something up. The Knicks are averaging 91 points per game, 52 rebounds, 19 assists, 7.5 steals, 4.5 blocks, 17 turnovers, shooting 39% from the field and 34% from 3 versus the Hornets. The Hornets are averaging 100 points, 44 rebounds. So the Knicks are out-rebounding them almost by 10, but still losing the game by almost 10. Right, the Hornets are averaging 24 assists, 8 steals, 3.5 blocks, 10.5 turnovers, shooting 42.6% from the field, 32% from three, and shooting 65.9% from the free throw line.
How much do we score on them?
We average 91.5 points per game versus them. It's not even that the Hornets they're not even scoring a lot. They're scoring 100 points per game versus the Knicks, shooting 42.6% from the field. It's the Knicks aren't scoring.
Yeah.
Look at the free throws. I didn't even see that down there. 56.4% from the free throw
From the
line.
free throw line. That's right.
And they're only shooting 65.
Right.
Hey, but it is crazy stuff because last night we shot what? 60
No, 53.8.
53.8.
And guess who the only two people that did it?
Yeah, RJ
Yeah.
and Mitch. Only
It
two
was
guys-
literally them two.
Yeah.
Yeah, RJ got to the line 17 times. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah.
It is, but you know what,
is.
Steph? It is very impressive, but it's making me mad because he's losing food.
Yeah.
Like to me, RJ. First of all, even it goes to me. Even I want to talk about it too quick, but even that game against Miami, RJ should have had at least 55 points.
I mean, part of it is just the endurance, and I'm not talking about him being in shape. He's in shape, but like when you're shooting the ball more, right? There's just a mental endurance, I guess I should say, that helps you to have the ability to continue to score and to continue to make your free throws. Like you got to build that endurance, that mental endurance. You got to build that endurance. So we got to give him. He'll start to make them, I think.
Yeah.
He knows it. He's working on it. You know what I mean? He talks about it frequently. He talked about it in his presser last night. He said, I had been making my free throws. Tonight I was missing them. I got to, I'm work on it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I think one of the things that the Charlotte Hornets do that bothers the Knicks, and I've noticed it throughout the season and even last season, teams that get a lot of deflections and play that type of defense, I think bothers the Knicks because it takes them out of their rhythm of what they try to do. You know what I mean? The Knicks do a lot of handoffs with each other, Randall and Evan Fournier, or sometimes Randall, he'll hand it off to RJ and RJ goes down the left side. Those type of plays. And when teams like the Hornets and other teams that play that type of aggressive defense, they get their hands in there and blow that up. Now you got to figure out something else to do. And the Knicks are a team that, while normally they don't turn the ball over a lot, they'll still turn it over, though. Of course, Randall, he'll turn it over. RJ, he'll turn it over. You know what I'm saying? And you get a team that gets their hands in there, they can create a lot of turnovers. And I think that's part of the problem why the Knicks shoot so bad against the Hornets. They contest shots. They get their hands in the passing lanes. They get a lot of deflections. And I think it just takes the Knicks out of their rhythm.
Yeah.
Because the Knicks are playing good defense against this team, but they can't score themselves. Let's see if that changes tonight.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm interested to see who steps up with RJ. They're gonna be planning for him too. And if they take him out the game, with double teams and what have you, who's stepping up?
Yeah. Yeah. You were talking earlier today with Tony a little bit about IQ. IQ is stepping up. You know what I mean? So. And, I think he can step up again tonight. I'm not sure who they have on their bench to match up with IQ, but I think he can step up again tonight. You know what I mean? I think he's getting comfortable. He's really comfortable out there. And I kind of agree with you. I wouldn't mind seeing him, especially now with the way the season is, seeing him start.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you can balance out the lineups with, talking about Deuce getting playing time.
Right.
If Emmanuel quickly starts at the point guard spot, Alec Burks can go back to the bench. He can play the shooting guard spot, and then let Deuce, Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel, and Alec Burks play the 1, the 2, and the 3 in the second unit. You know what I'm saying? So now you're just a little bit more balanced in the way that you can rotate guys in and out the game, and you give IQ, you get a chance to really see him over 10 games where you say, I'm going to commit to this guy at the point guard spot for 10 games. You get to see what he can really do.
Yeah, and he plays with the starters sometimes in that in the second quarter, sometimes in in the fourth quarter. So yeah, I think so. And I like the way he's running that pick and roll. I do think he dribbles a bit. I think he can get into it quicker for sure. But all options are open to him off of that pick and roll because of his shooting and driving ability.
Right.
Yeah, I think, and I do agree with you, Sam. I think it really is to the point now where, I mean, you have to look for next season. You have to see what you got. And I doubt Quickly is going to play in Summer League. I doubt it.
Right.
So 10 NBA games, give him these games. I mean, also too, man, you got to give Burke some breathing room because he is getting killed left or right. You know what I'm saying? It's just, again, that's not who he's a journeyman shooting guard. That's who he is. Yeah. Let Quickly do it, man. Let Quickly we have officially 10 games left, right?
10 games.
I believe so.
10 games.
Yeah.
Just let him do it, man. I get really worried about them sometimes, and I'm gonna save my opinion during the off season because it's something I do want to say. But man, I just feel like sometimes sometimes he's scared to change things up because it makes him feel like his way's not working. He feels defeated.
Well, I don't think it's that by saying my way's not working, because even if he changes it up, it's still his way. But I do agree he's probably scared because when you're a coach, listen, I've coached a lot of games and I've been up 20 and I'm still like, man, like all it takes is this one thing to happen. Like your team.
Right.
It's like if you have a child, right? And everybody else on the outside says, oh, you have your son or your daughter is great. They don't get in no trouble, this and that, this and that. But you know the stuff you go through at home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know all the little mistakes that they made. And so when they go out and go someplace, you're like, man, I hope they don't get in no trouble. I hope they don't do this. I hope they don't do that. Because you know all these little things. And so that's what it's like with a coach. Like, you know all the little quirks that can mess up with your team.
Right.
So you are afraid. You know what I'm saying? You are afraid.
Because you're sitting there, you're trying to win the game. You like, do I put Obi in? Oh, he ain't going to be able to guard that guy. He ain't going to be able to get that rebound.
Right. That's exactly what you be thinking. Like, or with Deuce, you're like, yeah, he's going to play defense, but is he going to take the shot when I want him to take it? He's indecisive right now. He's not. Like, for example, last night, Deuce was in the game. He knocked down a 3, right? But there was one time he was at the top of the key with the ball, and he's dribbling, but you could see he was trying to figure out, what do I do? Right? He could have went to the basket, but he wasn't, and so he just passed it to the wing. You know what I'm saying? So he's still, and some of that becomes because he hasn't been on the court playing, right? But when you're in a situation and you're trying to win that game, whether or not you agree that the Knicks should be trying to win, that doesn't matter if you agree or not. It's what Tom Thibodeau's doing. You think about those things. You think about, like Steph said, do I put this guy out there? I'm not sure he can guard him. I'm not sure he can make that defensive rotation. Hasn't been making it all night. Like, there's a lot of decisions that go in, and you're not always going to make the right one. And sometimes you're going to make a decision that, you might not even think it's the right decision, but you put the guy out there, and the guy goes off, and you're like, oh, snap. And everyone's like, oh, that was a great decision. It's like, hey, I didn't know the guy was going to go off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have a guy that's going off, and so you're like, let me put him back out there. And then they, shoot 0 for 6.
Yeah. No, for real. But you know what it is, man? You know what's funny? I just feel like the thing that we wanted him to do during the season, like, yo, it's gonna work. He was like, nah, but then we put it in, it worked. I mean, for the most part. But I just think, again, right? Just give Quickly the 10 games. It's literally not gonna hurt. To me, it can only benefit you.
Right. I mean, listen, and you can always switch it back.
Right.
During the middle of the game.
But Sam, that's the thing that bothers me with him is that he act like if he changed something, he can't put it back.
Right. Like in that Atlanta series, when he took Elf out to put it back, we got blown out.
Blown out. Put that joint back. At least we wasn't getting blown.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Lord, don't tell Sim this, because Lord have mercy.
but hey, I said it before it even happened. But nobody wanted to believe me. Everybody was like, "Nah, we gonna be better. We gonna score points." Mm-hmm. We did. We scored.
Right. And we got blown out those games. If you look at the games in which Elf started and the games in which he did, we got blown out.
Yeah, and then when you look at something like that might say to him like, man, I should have just stuck with my guns. You know what I'm saying? We might have had a better chance. I should have stuck with my guns. It's not, he goes back and is like, you know what? When I decide I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna stick with my guns. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just rock with it, because with Fizdale, it's hard when you don't have players. The Knicks have some talent. They need more talent, right? But they have some players where it's lopsided, right? You have some guys who are good offensively, some guys who are good defensively. You don't have a lot of two-way players. Right. And when you don't have that, you have to make those hard decisions, because now you got to try to mix. You got to try to, okay, all right, well, we need defensive guys now. Now we need offensive guys. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then you put in all offensive guys, and now you're not playing enough defense. You put in all defensive guys, you're not playing enough offense, because you don't have the right balance on your roster. So now you're stuck having to make these awkward decisions all the time, trying to find a way to mix match, whatever the lineups. So it makes it tough. When you look under Fizdale, it was the same way for him. He never had the same starting lineup.
Yeah.
He never had to, and so people could never get comfortable. Now with Tom Thibodeau, that was part of the reason why the Knicks played well last year, is because he stuck with the same people. And like you were saying the other night, Isaiah, if he didn't stick with Emmanuel quickly, when everybody was saying, including myself, sit him down, don't play him, play Grimes or Deuce or whoever, Emmanuel quickly probably wouldn't be doing this now, the way he's playing well. So sometimes, the one thing about coaches in the NBA is, some of them have been around for a while, and so they understand the ebbs and the flows, and some of them don't panic as much as fans do.
Right.
Because they get it. So, it's tough.
It's tough, man.
It's tough. And that's why I wish a lot of fans would have a chance to coach, because I think they would understand it a little bit.
They would understand. They would at least have a more even opinion. Like the venom, like they've been on the bench and coached a few teams themselves.
Right. Because like, it's just not easy. Because whatever call you make could be the wrong call at any time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be scrutinized. And so you can't listen to everybody else. You got to make whatever decision you think is right is what you have to make. If you make somebody else's decision and it's wrong, then, now you're in trouble for that. So you might as well just, fall on your own sword if that's what you're going to do. It's tough to coach, man. It's tough. Really tough. But, Steph, what are your keys for the Knicks to win tonight?
They have to score. Some guys other than RJ is going to have to show up. That's a key. I think the effort is going to be there with this team. That's one thing, even with the losing, that they've been there. They've been, for the most part, giving effort, stay in it no matter what. And we need something. We need something from Obi. We need something from IQ. Grimes, who hasn't really been the same since he's been back. So basically, Sam, we need scoring. I don't see it with this team. We need scoring.
Yeah. And I want to say to Mets 21-28, I apologize. I couldn't open up the lines today. I'm actually getting ready to get off in about 2 minutes because I have to, run some personal errands and get some things done. So I apologize for that. That's the reason why I didn't open up the lines today. But they will be open tonight. So hopefully, you can call back and have the discussion with us later on tonight after the post game or during the post game show. Isaiah, what's your keys tonight?
Keys, man. I'm gonna piggyback what Steph said. Sorry, we got to score because again, we've only been averaging 91 points against this team. We got to score, and look, I get Grimes coming back from a knee injury, so I'm not truly expecting too much scoring from him. But I would like to see him get back a little bit of a groove to what he was doing before that. Quickly has to show up. And then also, again, it can't just be RJ. I need Obi. Sorry, bro. You're a top 10 pick. I need Obi. I need to see something. I need at least 15, 20 points. But that's what I'm thinking.
Ooh. Man, I don't know if you're gonna get it from Obi though, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna get it from him tonight.
He only played 23 minutes. Maybe if he played near 40.
Right? Yeah. He had 10 last night in 23 minutes. So
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, maybe. Isaiah Ellis, thank you for the super chats to him. He said, it's tough to officiate as well. Try to stay in the box. And then he said the Knicks should draft Iverson Mulliner. Period. Well, we are going to see, later on this week after tonight's game, I'm going to be working on some draft shows and stuff like that. So, yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I wish I had a little bit more time so I could have opened up the phone lines. But again, tonight I will be on the post-game show. Phone lines will be open, so I'll be looking forward to hearing you call in. All right, and Mets 2128 said he's going to the game. Please enjoy yourself at the game. Have a good time. Maybe give us a call from the game after the game. You know what I'm saying? Jump on the post-game show and, give us a call. Tell us what the energy was like in the building and things that you saw. Any last words before we get out of here, Steph?
Go Knicks. Play hard. Give it everything you have. I'm interested in seeing IQ tonight. I'm interested in seeing RJ tonight.
Yeah, and I say it.
I'm going to beat Steph. I'm going to have more videos than Steph. Don't you worry.
Right.
Let's see. I'm dropping another one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to say it right now.
Dropping another one tomorrow.
Seb, I want you to pin this. I guarantee. All season, we're going to be doing some cooking with Seb Zays. We're going to make some great food. And don't forget, Seb, I still owe you an L. I'm coming down. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that one.
Okay. All right. We know. Ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Appreciate your time. Catch you on the post-game show. Out.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.